Last time on Dice Fall and Everyone Dies. If you give me some time, we might be able to appropriate some silk from Tian's shop, but that's at least several months off.
No, they don't have to be that nice. I'm sure they'll be perfect with another material, but I need them to be flexible enough that I can still cast my spells. But I don't want people to see this. And she takes off her gloves and shows him.
Are the tips of your fingers...
Yes.
That's even paler than your skin tone, Lady Taffy.
Yes.
What does that mean? Did you dip your hands in bleach? Yes, Lady Steno.
You don't have to refer to me with my title, for the record.
So, would you like me to call you Steno?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is why we're alone, so Caslin can mind his own fucking business.
Welcome back to Dice Fall and Everyone Dies. I'm your GM, Chris, and today I want to provide you some updates about our podcast as well as information on all of our current projects. We've brought up and mirrored all of our episodes on YouTube to help folks who have issues hearing. The closed captioning there is not perfect, but we hope that this will help out folks who need a visual aid when enjoying the show. Speaking of show, we're launching a new show in the next couple of weeks, specifically for our patrons over on our Patreon page. This homebrew campaign is written and GM'd by Shay and is turning into a load of fun. The plan is to release a full session monthly exclusively on the Patreon platform. If you enjoy our work and want to contribute towards us making more content, Patreon is a great way to show us support as well as get more Dicefall to boot. We're also busy on our website, dicefallpodcast.com, producing written content such as reviews of Pathfinder products, the Dicefall blog, as well as articles for game masters and players to enjoy. And remember, if you enjoy the episode, please leave us a rating and comment on your platform of choice. Besides letting us know what you think, the feedback helps the show grow immensely. As well, links for everything are down in the show notes below. And when we last left off, the party found themselves staring at the opening of the deeper cavern complex known as the Goblin Blood Caves. Let's dive back in as they head once more into the jaws of danger! Welcome back to Dice Fall and Everyone Dies. It is a wonderful day to be back in Galarion as we are about to embark on some wonderful adventures as y'all are passing through the dark, wonderful caverns and about to enter into the deeper reaches of the Goblin Blood Caves. I hope everyone is doing awesome. Zach, how are you today?
I'm okay. Doing okay. Just a little tired, but, whatever.
And Jules, how are you?
Quite good.
Shay, how are we?
Well, Twitter was a thing.
Yeah, you've, you dropped some content on Twitter that got a little bit of personal attention and algorithm attention. It was very interesting.
Interesting is a good word for it.
Then, Sid, how are you today?
I'm doing okay.
So when last we left off, y'all had reprovisioned yourselves at Breach Hill and then began wonderful conversations with showing Alec exactly how much you appreciated his work and leather pants. And then made it back up to Vaz's encampment.
You make it sound like we're a bunch of creeps. Only Deimos is a creep.
Deimos did appreciate the leather pants quite thoroughly.
Deimos has seen him naked.
Also true.
That is a thing.
Is Stano a little jealous that he beat her to the punch?
What? Anyway, so Caslin was perving on Alec.
I don't know. Would Caslin classify his interactions as perving on Alec?
Which interactions? Because
How about the interaction where he asked Alec if he'd go front to back?
yeah, that was probably perving a little. Just a little.
Alec appreciates the attention. He doesn't get a ton of positive attention from the barracks.
Oh, I'm sure he's gotten
Positive.
some.
Well, he did try to explain the intricacies of various things, so he's more knowledgeable than he probably ought to be.
Anyway.
Oh boy.
So, y'all see this cavern going deeper into this cave system. How do y'all want to proceed into these caverns?
Have we already made it through the Tixatog lair?
Yes, y'all are in Vaz's lair
Oh.
at this point. And so there's one cavern that heads deeper into the cave system.
Did we wave to the Tixatog when we saw her?
You did. I mean, you gave her eatsies, so...
Yeah, okay.
Alright, we better.
We fed her vase.
Yes, you fed her Vaz.
Yes.
She's just waiting for her snacks. They take a couple days.
So I guess we move forward.
So are we going to continue with Taffy producing her dancing lights?
Yes. I don't think Taffy would let us not. It's now her signature spell.
And now that I think about it, none of y'all have dark vision.
No, we don't.
So y'all are proceeding with the light, heading forward. Everyone's spells are prepared, and as you begin moving through this cave system, give me survival checks.
Of course.
And if I remember correctly, Caslin had Vaz as his last hunted target, so you can add the hunted target aspect to this roll.
Wait, what?
And that becomes a. Is it?
I got a 22.
22.
I got 21.
Excellent, excellent.
Without the bonus, I got 25. So
And with the bonus?
26, I think. Yeah, 26.
26.
27.
Dang.
I rolled a 20 and my survival's plus 7.
Y'all are on point heading into this cave. So you'll begin moving tentatively forward into the system, and you're able to see that Vaz has left a particular trail of vermin corpses and a level of tracking and destruction that a novice probably wouldn't be able to follow. But between Taffy's understanding of how wizards think and the amount of study that Caslin has put into understanding kind of Vaz's nature, y'all are able to see all of the markings that Vaz had been using to navigate through this cavern system.
So wait. Was she torturing small animals along the way through the cavern to leave a path?
Your understanding from what you're seeing is not that she was necessarily torturing them, it's that each of the vermin that you're finding along the way had burrows or dens in those areas that she needed to pass through. So you're seeing things like centipedes, rats, spiders, various forms of cave vermin in this area. And part of your exploration, you end up seeing what you think may actually be old, not quite ruins, but something akin to the last vestiges of fairly primitive camps. Do y'all want to check those out?
Like underdweller camps?
So is that a yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Give me society a check. Is that a button, Steno?
Fuck you.
23.
23?
11.
11?
19.
Together, y'all are able to kind of pick apart these camps, and from what you can tell, these appear to be very old goblin encampments. It looks like this is an area that used to be inhabited by several different tribes of goblins in this area. Y'all do know, having worked with the Bramble Bashers, that they don't need a huge amount of space to be able to bring together clan dwellings, but these look like they have been abandoned for easily a couple decades at this point. And it's in these areas that you're passing through that you see the vermin piles and the discarded corpses that have been, in some cases, slashed, other cases charged,
So, like,
punctured.
these are encampments from, like, the Goblin Blood Wars.
That seems to be an appropriate summation.
Well, Stano's too young to remember anything about the Goblin Blood Wars, so she's just kind of like, interesting.
And so y'all can pick out Vaz's trail, combining it with the corpses and the different marks it looks like that she's used as being the method to be able to kind of guide her way in. Taffy, you're able to pick up that it probably took a couple days of exploration looking at the effects from various spells and the like that were used. You can see spots of where there was acid damage, other cases of where it's pretty obvious that someone was using spell effects on the vermin along the way. And y'all continue through, and with your notes from Vaz's journal that you decoded, you think that you have found the latest place where she might have had the skirmish with the spider lady that is mentioned before. And there's a tunnel that leads directly off from this space further down. That the notes that you have say that the spiders and the weird spider lady had retreated down.
Well, then I guess we're gonna head down that way.
So as you begin heading through this cavern, and so that y'all have an understanding, y'all have been in this space moving through these caverns for hours at this point. So you've probably covered a couple miles, maybe even, and it's hard to get that sense of distance, but Caslin and Taffy have a pretty good mental understanding with their 26 and 27. And so you're pretty sure that they tell you that y'all have probably been in this area for about 6 miles worth of travel. And as you head into this section, you see that although this tunnel opens wide into a sprawling cavern, it seems a lot more claustrophobic. There's viscous spider webs crisscrossing every inch of the place. And along the northern wall, you see several human-sized lumps in the webs, and they're thickly wrapped in silk webbing. And the entire floor itself is covered in a sticky goop. Moving around this area is essentially difficult terrain.
So Stano's gonna pull out her sword.
I laid it on fire.
What? No.
The sword.
The sword. You like the sword on fire?
No, I can't enchant the blade yet.
The blade or the hilt?
I was gonna say the blade, but I can't do that yet.
So, Stano's readied her weapon.
She's going to take a step forward.
So you begin...
It's probably going to be a bad idea. I think the science might have been wrong in that.
We're playing a game where
where we have a very cruel GM. He would absolutely have us roll smoke damage.
It really depends on the size of the room if you're going to set the webs on fire, on kind of what would happen there. From what y'all can tell entering into the room, the ceilings themselves appear to be about... as you kind of look up into them and you raise the lights up a little bit, you can kind of begin seeing the tops of them. So you imagine that the height of the cavern ceiling here is about 20 feet. And so from where y'all begin entering into the cavern and you bring the dancing lights forward, you can see that the webs cover all of the walls of the cavern. And here to the northern side, you see that there are a couple body-sized bundles of thick, viscous webbing, and the floor itself is covered in this goo, a combination of goo and webbing that makes it difficult terrain. So to move 5 feet, you remember to count it as, instead of 5, to count it as 10 feet when you move.
Let's not touch anything until we find this spider woman.
So who's going to be the first to enter in?
Stano will take the first few steps.
Taffy will be right behind, readying a fire spell.
Taffy!
Deimos does not want to be first, anywhere close to first in this.
So you'll begin tentatively moving in. It's, again, a little bit slower going, making sure you're avoiding any obvious large strands of web. Are y'all moving into more of the center? Are y'all kind of sticking around the sides? Y'all just want to just right into the center of all of it?
I think we're probably going to try to go whichever way is the least...
Path of least resistance?
Yeah.
So that, from what you can tell, that's mostly the center, because easily within 5 and sometimes 10 feet of the walls, it's just this thick, crisscrossing set of webbing.
Okay, then, yep, we can move towards the center.
So as you move towards the center, you see towards the north, about 20 feet across, the cavern continues at a pretty significant width, and you see a little bit to the north and west that there is another opening, but it has itself a lot of crisscrossing spider webs there.
Do Taffy's dancing lights, do they illuminate the ceiling of this cave?
Just barely when you take them up a little bit, because for those who have low light vision, you can see the top side of the ceiling. And so it is Damos and Taffy with low light vision, correct?
Yes.
Y'all, both of you give me perception checks.
Y'all tell me some big ass spider's about to fall on my head.
21.
21. And Damos?
24.
So as Taffy's light begins moving around, are y'all, just to make sure, are y'all clustered together or are y'all in a line?
Imagine we kind of clustered since there's plenty of room for us to be.
Okay. So y'all come from the linearity of the cavern and kind of keep up into a cluster so that y'all have good coverage with all of Taffy's lights. And as Damos and Taffy are looking around, y'all see this glinting off the top of the cavern. As you begin looking around, you then notice some flickers, and you
Don't like that.
you see that they are in sets of 6.
I don't like that.
In fact, you see 6 sets of 6.
Don't like that.
Roll perception,
God
everyone. Demos, give me a knowledge check based on your bardic abilities. So like a bardic knowledge check.
No, I don't have that listed. Whoa. Well, that just
Maybe
be...
under bardic lore.
It's just not listed at all. That I can just... That's just intelligence.
Yep.
So, I know what the number should be. 22? Yes, 22.
You've heard tale of the cave spider.
Oh.
Generally brown, dark coloration, almost imperceptible if you happen to have dark vision. Its clustered set of eyes and large fangs, dripping with venom. They have the capacity to spin webs and can be very aggressive, thus giving them the term hunting spider. And you believe that you spot 6 of them on the ceiling. You have 3 actions.
They look hungry. Inspire defense, inspire courage, and shield immediately.
So you do this strum on your lute, and it just begins echoing throughout the cavern. And everyone has +1 to their attacks and defenses from courage and defense. Steno.
None of them have actually attacked yet.
Correct. But they are looking at you. Some are positioned above you and others positioned around. They are on the ceiling.
Okay. She is going to ready an action to attack one if it comes near them.
All right, you got one more action. Do you want to position yourself anywhere?
She's going to position herself in a place where she's right there next to Taffy to basically defend her, but she doesn't want to get in Taffy's way of spellcasting.
All right, you can do that within an action. You can definitely feel as your boots are trudging through that this terrain is not going to be very good for mobility. And just looking up after Demos has pointed out where the spiders themselves are, you can see that they're moving along the walls and the ceiling with absolute ease of movement along those ways. Taffy.
How far away is it?
So the closest spiders are within 20 feet, and beyond that, they're within 30 feet.
I'll lay it up.
What you gonna cast?
Is there a particular, biggest spider?
They all appear to be about the same size.
Then the one closest to me, I'll magic missile it in the face.
Magic missile?
Mm-hmm.
And are you doing a level 1 magic missile?
Yeah. No.
So you're using 3 missiles?
Mm-hmm.
So 3 missiles. Each missile is 1d4 plus 1. So it's 3d4 plus 3.
Okay. 10 damage.
Nice. So the first one, you can see you aim right for the body of it, and you just see this, and your third missile comes in and just punches a hole into its abdomen. It's still up and kicking, but it is definitely got a crunchy, juicy spot in it. It does not appear to be super happy with you. Kazalin.
I'm going to stow my blades.
Okay.
So that would be 2 actions.
Yep.
And then quick draw and fire with the bow.
Okie doke. Do you want to hit a fresh one, or do you want to hit the one Taffy hit?
The one Taffy hit.
Go for it.
Ooh. 19.
Hits.
Just 2.
2 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
So you let your arrow fly into it, and you see it stick into the front spot of the spider itself, kind of like winging in through under the underside of the abdomen from where it's hanging, getting ready to do its own strike. And now the spiders themselves begin to move in. It looks like 2 of them are going to focus on Alec, and then 1 on each of the rest of you. So the first thing that they're going to begin doing, now that they've lost the element of surprise on you 4, they're going to attempt to web each of you. And so a thick gout of sticky web comes shooting down towards y'all. So let's go ahead and start with... We'll go around and we'll start with Kazalin. Kazalin, what is your AC?
21.
So you're able to just narrowly dodge the web as it comes through. Damos.
Yes.
You have been webbed, and you now have been immobilized and stuck to the floor. It came perfectly. It covered your face. You were strumming on your lyre. Your hands are now fully caught. You are immobilized against the floor. Just perfectly all around with the web there.
Great.
Did you just correctly succeed that?
I totally did. I rolled a natural 20 on that web. Steno, what is your AC?
23.
Plus, we forgot to add the Inspire Courage.
No, that's with Inspired
Oh,
Courage.
that's what? Okay.
So, with a 23, this one was going right for your head, but you were able to take your blade and block it, just cutting through the web so it shoots along either side of you. If you hadn't had that Inspire defense on, you might have been caught with that one as well.
Did any of them come near us?
They're still firing their webs at you at range.
Okay.
And Taffy, what is your AC?
My AC is 17.
17? You see the web coming down, and it looks like it was going to be a solid body shot, but you do this quick little scooch out of the way, make a little kind of a duck kneel forward, as it just whizzes right over your head, just barely missing you. So we'll go ahead and do their next action for Demos. So Demos, the spider that was on you now flings itself at you while you are immobile and flat-footed.
Right.
So what is your immobile flat-footed AC?
I don't know what that docks.
So your flat-footed AC is -2.
Okay.
So you still have your Inspire defense. So it's going to be your AC net -1.
18.
18. So it comes at you with a fang, and it is able to hit you with its fang. It does not critical you with its fang, though. And I need you to make a fortitude save.
19.
So you feel venom being injected, but luckily it is on the outside of your skin as you are able to push the spider off after it punctured into you for 3 points of damage. So you kind of like shoulder it up a little bit, doing your best to kind of keep it from doing any more strikes on you. Then the spiders on the rest of you for their second action are going to attempt one more web at each of you. Failing terribly, though Taffy's able to dodge just super out of the way. There was another really close one. And then, so there's one spider on Demos presently. 3 spiders still remain on the ceiling. And the others are now attempting to web Alec. He's able to dodge away from the first one, but that just puts him in line for the second one to completely cover him in goo and have immobilized him. And then that's when those two spiders jump down and begin their attacks on him. So he is now flat-footed and immobilized until he can take his turn to try to escape out. And they're bringing their jaws down. The first one that makes his attack is able to hit him for a solid 7 points of damage. And he's got to make his fortitude save on that. And then the second one is not able to get past his armor. Y'all hear the sound of chitin just clinking off against armor as it tries to hit him with additional damage. But he finds himself immobile for the next round until he can make his escape check, which luckily he gets to do now. But he can't do that on a 3.
Alec,
That's a crit fail.
how did he even become a Marlichter?
You know, for his escape, he would use his acrobatics, which he has a positive acrobatics score. With his armor, he has +7. But he rolled a 3, so he's got a 10. So a 10 does not break through the escape DC on this webbing. And he is there and struggling. So now at the top of the second round, Deimos, you are immobile and you have 3 actions. Would you like to attempt to escape?
Yes, absolutely.
Then I will need an acrobatics check.
20.
So you're able to take your loot and you're able to kind of wedge it slightly there, and within an action you're able to get the webs off to get your arms free. You have 2 actions.
Okay. What do I have for spells at the moment? Let's continue Inspire Defense and Inspire Courage for now.
You can't stop his music.
Would you say that you can't stop the beat?
I was thinking more, can't stop this feeling, but yeah, sure. Whichever one I can find and not get totally sued on for including in the podcast, that's the music line we'll drop.
Mm-hmm.
So Deimos is able to maintain your courage and your defense. Steno.
Is there a spider near her?
There is a spider on Deimos. So you positioned yourself out of Taffy's way and Deimos came in behind y'all, right? Because then, and y'all are all kind of clustered together. So you can...
That's the only spider that's down there, though, right?
Within your present reach. If you
Okay.
wanted to move, you can move over towards the 2 that are on Alec towards the back.
Who looks like they're in worse conditions, Deimos or Alec?
Alec's the only one who's taken, or Alec has taken more damage.
Alright, she's gonna move over to one of the ones attacking Alec. She's going to power attack it. Hang on. Oh, that's a 22. Nope, that's a 32.
That's that whole by 10 thing.
Yeah.
Okay. 32 crits.
Nice. I gotta get into my Snorlax to get more.
Snorlax. Ditto.
Right into his butt.
That's where the dice are kept!
I know, it just looks very strange from this angle because I just see a Snorlax with his legs
I
up.
hope he's properly relaxed.
I hate all of you. Alright, let's see. What's that? That's an 11.
Zach, get a picture of that the next time that she reaches her hand
Okay.
into that Snorlax. We'll put that up on the Twitter.
That's 23. That's 31 points of damage.
So you come into so you move over into the one that was on Alec, the one whose fangs clinked off his armor. You just come in and cut through the thorax, severing multiple legs, and there's just this spider goop that slashes out across the floor as it is exceedingly dead. Part of, you basically also caught Alec's lower half and his armor just covered in spider goop
Oh.
from that.
When you said caught Alec's lower half, I thought that meant with the sword.
Only if you'd critically failed.
Oh, Steno wishes she could catch Alec's lower half.
Oh, wow.
What?
You heard me.
What?
You heard me.
Mm-hmm.
Medvic understands you. Taffy, it is your turn.
So is the one that I threw magic missile still up?
It is still up. It is got a puncture in its abdomen. It's tried to throw webs at you, and you see an arrow sticking out of it. It's been trying to web you quite a bit, and you've just been nimbly dodging out of the way. You find the freedom of movement from your new duds that you have has been quite fantastic.
I'm going to change it up. I'm going to cast Ray of Frost. At that one.
She's not gonna burn at all?
Let your cold fingers fly. Whoosh.
It's 18 plus my spell attack, right?
So you got a natural 18? And so your modifier should be plus 10? That is a critical hit. So you're easily at double damage and double your damage modifier.
And because it's a critical success, the target takes double damage and takes a minus 10 foot status penalty to its speed for 1 round.
What's the speed of a hunting spider?
2d4. That's 6.
So the standard speed of a hunting spider, since this one is about to die, its climb speed matches its movement speed. And it is as fast on a wall or on the ground.
Who made that decision?
As a standard humanoid.
Who made that decision?
So.
Paizo Incorporated. As
Damn
of
them.
2019.
And it's a
Damn them
cantrip,
to
so it's
heck.
automatically heightened.
Right.
So I should actually be rolling more.
Yeah, you should have the... it should be your cantrip at 2nd level spell equivalent.
Would you like to use my skull D4?
3d4? Okay, so the modifier's not doubled, right?
It is doubled.
Okay, so that's 8, 9, 10, 16.
16 points of damage.
Jesus Christ, Sid.
So you unleash this frost right into its face. It looks like it's about to unleash more webbing at you. And as you do, this coating of frost goes about the abdomen, but really begins affecting all of its limbs. And you just hear this crackling and popping sound as the moisture inside of it begins freezing and solidifying in the thinnest parts of the body. And then the weight of it just snaps. The legs still attached to the ceiling as the body falls, cracks down with a thud, and you see splinters on all of the small parts of the mandibles and hairs being frozen, just shattering into this small pile, but only the goop and webbing on the floor keeping it from popping up into a cloud of frozen dust.
Chris, you were really excited to tell us that.
Sano has mild flashbacks to the grave shell.
You have one more action, right?
Did you know that tarantulas can fire the hairs off their butts?
Did
Not
not
when
know
they're
that.
frozen.
I'm going to cast Shield on myself.
Thought that was relevant for the situation.
Caslin. So not 10 feet from you. Pop! So there's another one that is shooting web at you.
Oh.
Yep. Taffy?
Taffy would have said, as everything was going, or like as she was freezing it, chill out.
Not ice to meet you.
No.
So Caslin, after a snappy one-liner from Taffy, that spider just drops down, shatters. There's another one on the ceiling that firing web at you. There's one on Alec, guts of the other one on the ground that was attacking Alec, and then one attempting to savage Damos.
Is that within melee range for me?
It is within 10 feet of you. You'll have to move around to get to the one that's on Damos. It's on the opposite side of you. So you'd at least have to take a move to be able to get into striking range with a melee weapon.
What if the weapon has reach?
You can hit it with a ranged weapon, yes.
Or a reach weapon.
Halberd?
You can hit it with your halberd because you won't have to move for it.
Okay.
You can't, because of the difficult terrain, you can't take your standard step action to get to it, so you have to take a full action. But it's within quick draw halberd range.
Okay.
Is Caslin gonna pokey?
Yeah,
Pokey
I
the
think he's
spider.
gonna pokey that Spidey Whitey. So
Pooter man.
he's gonna quick draw, take the free action to drop the bow.
It's all covered in goop now.
Eh, it's kind of sucked anyway. Quick draw the halberd. Do a feint. So an intimidation or deception on the spider.
All right.
Feint, whatever.
Faint.
Shut up.
I was trying to let that one go, Steno.
I think this happens roughly every week.
It looks like it should be feint. Okay, I know it's not, but I read it and it is in my brain. So stop.
Okay.
Okay. 26.
26 hits.
Almost.
That against his perception.
Oh, against his perception? 26 gets by its perception. So you're able to make it flat-footed to your attack.
Okay. And
So it thinks you go left, but you actually go right.
It seems to be very distracted by the idea of planting its fangs directly into Deimos' neck.
Deimos' soft skin.
Yes.
Ew.
It wants to inject venom into his soft hands and make them softer to go.
Oh,
Make them jelly.
why?
Well, it's a spider. It's
Deimos
hungry.
smoothie.
10.
10 to hit?
10. Oh yeah. That's a natural 20.
Oh. So there's these wonderful critical cards under the DS over here on the table.
That is a Switch, sir?
The Game Boy thing?
You mean the Mega DS?
That's my Animal Crossing machine.
Red or gray?
Red card. Critical card, melee slashing.
The target is knocked prone. That's boring.
So double damage and knocked prone.
Yeah.
So with
Let's
your
see if it survives first.
yeah, go ahead and roll your additional damage.
4. Plus 2, so 6.
So you dealt a total of 16 points of damage to it. So you come in by putting away or dropping your bow, whipping out your halberd, and getting it at just this right angle to knock it fully off of Deimos in this upward strike, opening up its abdomen.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
That was not.
Did you read the wrong critical effect?
Well, I think it's piercing.
Oh, this one's piercing?
Yeah. It's 1D. It's got the P in the.
Okay, so yeah, that would be piercing.
Target takes 1d6 persistent bleed damage.
Oh, excellent. Go ahead and roll the d6.
3.
Excellent. So with a total of 19 damage from the strike, it's actually a little worse for Deimos because it's not really going to get knocked away. You're going right in and you're slicing up, piercing through the under part of its abdomen, taking out its brain, ceasing its actions.
Did you skewer it?
But the problem is that as you wrench your halberd away, all of that viscera is just all on Deimos, covering him at this point from basically just under his neck down, all across his lute as he's strumming, just spider guts as it falls back dead.
String instruments.
I can just imagine he singing, right? And all of a sudden the guts enter his mouth. He's like still singing. He's just like spitting it out. He's
Lord.
And he's covered in webs that are all around his body at the same point too.
I feel like he's into it. Are you in? Is Deimos into it?
Into being covered in spider guts?
And webbed down and just
Maybe.
Is this a thing for him?
No.
I think it is.
But it is now the remaining spider's turn. One bearing its fangs down on Alec, one shooting web at Caslin, and another one shooting web at Steno. Let's go ahead and see what we've got here. Caslin, remind me of your AC?
20. Wait, we got inspired defense 22.
So this one hits you with web, immobilizing you to the floor, but misses Steno. So the one is also going to try one more time on Steno. Finally is able to get web off on Steno, getting her immobilized to the floor, and jumps down right on top of her and is about to web strike down. But it took 2 actions, so it can't actually attack you. But your Steno is now covered in web and has a
23 AC? Mm-hmm.
25. It was nice. Then now the one that hit Caslin is going to have an opportunity to jump down and strike, and a 24 hits, correct?
Oh yeah.
Give me a fortitude save, Caslin.
Wait.
Thank you, Caslin. The venom from the spiders, it is quite toxic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a hunting spider.
It is used by various rogues
26.
to enhance their venomous blades. 26 is a success, but you still take 7 points of damage from its fangs. You're able to push it off before the muscles inside of it are able to inject the venom into you. And then the one on Alec. Oh, the one on Alec.
Alec, who walked in and has not done a thing.
Well, he's at the bottom end of round 2, I might add. We're still in round 2.
Mm-hmm.
And he failed his escape.
So you want to point out, well, we're in round 2. Stano's already killed a spider. Oh. What did he just critically fail?
Oh, he just got critically hit by the fangs. So that's the first one.
Give a hero point to counter a critical.
No. But I will allow y'all to give each other buttons on everything but death saves. That seems fair.
So somebody could sacrifice a button to save Alec if he crit fails.
If he critically fails, yes.
Okay.
I don't know if I like that.
So y'all see fangs go in, come up, fangs go in, come up, fangs clink off of armor.
Okay.
Oh, draw me a critical card for piercing.
Oh.
The critical hit was
I'm gonna
a
stop bringing Alec places.
Target is enfeebled 1 until healed.
Ooh.
Bicep wound.
So the first strike goes through his arm entirely, and as it's coming up, injects the venom and deals to him 14 points of damage.
Oh.
And then the second one gets him for 6 points of damage. So he's taken 27 points of damage from the spider so far. And now he's got to get through 2 fortitude saves. He has rolled a natural 4 on his first fortitude save. Does anyone want to use a button on him?
Anybody who has more
I
buttons
will.
than me?
How many buttons you got?
I got 7.
Okay.
Take the
Oh,
button.
the generosity of Deimos! Allowing him one more attempt. He gets a natural 16 on that one, so
Nice.
he passes his first save. Now he gets for the second strike a natural 3.
Boy.
And Taffy! Y'all love him. Y'all really, really do.
How many buttons does Taffy have?
Did you just...
Roll a 4.
Chris!
I
Can't
feel
throw
like
any more buttons.
I feel like that
No, I'm
sacrifice
giving it to
was
Sid.
heroic and deserves a point.
Here's the beautiful part. He's got plus 12 on his fortitude save and passes.
You piece of shit!
Oh. Master troll.
Here's the thing. He would have failed on the 3.
Oh, okay.
So
It
you
li-
still saved him.
So the DC for passing the venom is 16. What? You saved Alec from taking... What's the effect of this venom? Extra damage. He takes 1d10 poison and would have become flat-footed on that first stage.
We're gonna stop taking Alec places.
And in fact, if he had failed both of those, right? Because he would have failed each time that y'all had him roll. He would have already be at 1d12 poison, clumsy, and flat-footed.
You know, when Alec first appeared, I thought he was super suave and super cool and super strong, and now it's just kind of like, oh, he's just a himbo.
So the beautiful thing is he is tanking 2 of the spiders. Well, was. Taking the damage for those. He's been a great damage sponge for sure.
Yeah, he's a himbo.
And it is at least now his turn. He's beginning to get a little frustrated at being unable to get out of the webbing here.
Not that frustrated?
You should give Alec more space for the dice to roll.
Or a different dice.
I'm using different dice. All right,
Or set the tray on the table.
Sorry, Alec has fucked this round. He's trying so hard. He's only got plus 7. He's got to get through a 17.
I've only got plus 7.
Yeah, he rolled a 5, a 3, and a 6. He's got to get a
Do I
10.
have fireball yet?
No. You get access to Fireball
you
next
cannot
level.
set Fireball off in this area. It is too small.
I saw a shirt the other day. It said, I didn't ask how big the room is. I said cast fireball.
You cannot cast. You cannot cast Fireball in this room because 1, Zach is in this room, and we know what happens when you accidentally cast Fireball on Zach. 2, 2, you are also in this room and you will have to roll the reflex save.
That's fair.
See, the worst part about me rolling small numbers for Alex saves and abilities is that means I'm using all of my low rolls on the NPC,
That's
and that
not
leaves
how it
all of my
actually
high
works.
rolls.
That's not how probability works.
You're right. That's just how I like to align probability.
Maybe we should
Whose
allow
turn is
some
it?
players to roll for Alex.
Yeah.
As like an exhibition
Yeah,
game
hang
or
on.
something. Oh, wait. I need to see. I need to get this.
Can you see my arm?
No.
Have you considered a career in proctology for Snorlax?
Shay, are you the next Nurse Joy?
Oh.
That's what Nurse Joy does all day.
Something happens in the back with those Pokemon.
Fucking roll just a 17.
See? That's nice. Too bad y'all don't gain control of Alec until after you finish this book.
Wait, what? Huh?
So after y'all finish the book, y'all will gain control of Alec as players.
Oh.
As the part of the reward for completing the book.
Oh.
But you gotta survive the book.
He's got to survive the book.
That too.
Yeah, we're doing okay here. I think.
Demos. You are covered in spider viscera. You have webbing all around you. And as Kaslin pointed out, it's all in your mouth.
Gross. Okay,
Use
is there
an
a way
action
to like
Hakalugi.
kind of step out of the immediate spidery area?
So you like to take an action and move?
Yes.
Alright, you have 2 actions remaining.
And then it's Inspire Defense and Inspire Courage, which does 60 feet, so everybody's good.
So the continuous strumming, this clearing of bleh from the mouth. Here comes a thought.
Would you like to share it with the class?
It's okay, that spider fell to pieces anyway.
It did fall to pieces.
I just realized I should have been doing higher damage on that fight. Or on that.
On the magic missile?
Yeah.
It's fine.
No, not on the magic missile, on the icy touch.
Oh,
Or,
yeah. Ray
Ray
of
of
Frost? Oh, yeah, cantrips are freaking awesome. Steno.
Yes.
There is one more spider on Alec.
Yes.
And there is a spider right on top of you.
Yes.
You are immobile.
Yes.
And you need to make an escape artist. Here's a question. Does this have attack of opportunity?
The spider?
You're
No.
going to find out.
Hunting spiders don't have attack of opportunity.
Someone's been reading all of their material. Yes.
I'm literally writing the other campaign, Chris.
Exactly. Wait, are you throwing spiders at us? Oh,
Aren't
crap.
always spiders somewhere?
That's true.
Okay, so that is a 26.
You successfully escape from the web, and it does not take any attacks of opportunity on you.
No, because it doesn't have attack of opportunity.
I can have a leveled spider.
No, you couldn't. That's not how it works.
I got the GMG. I can make whatever I want.
Yeah, but you're playing an adventure. Don't talk to me like I don't know my shit, Chris. So Stano's got a power attack, and that is a... Where's my button? Not my button. Where's my notes? There it is.
Carry the 10.
That's a 31.
31 criticals.
Cool. 28 points of damage.
Ow. 28 points of slashing damage?
Yeah.
So this is the one that has been just on top of, legs around Alec, and just biting through his biceps this entire time. How do you want to kill this thing?
First off, I think that she's probably a little jealous because that spider's got its legs around Alec.
It is a very spidery, lovingly embraced. Just injecting all of the venom into him.
Right, anyway, so can Stano skewer this thing from, like, the mouth to the thorax?
You have to go thorax to mouth,
That'll work.
and so
And then she's just gonna kind of throw it at the wall to, like, get it off her sword.
so you skewer it up. Its legs just go rigid out as the blade enters through, releasing Alec. And you sling it against the web behind it, or web towards the wall, and it slides off your sword head first and then gets caught up into its own web, thorax over head, kind of all tumbled into it, and then you hear a thud as it reverberates a couple times off the side of the cave into the web. And it's now stuck there, its legs kind of out and weird, half tumbled over, and you just kind of hear this as it's leaking out from it.
Ew.
Cool.
Taffy. So you see that there is one spider on top. Was that the one on you, or did you attack the one on Alec?
Let's say we attack the one on Alec.
And so there is still a spider going mono-y-mono with Stano, and then another one going mono-y-mono with Kazalin.
I would like to think that it looks like Stano just completely fucking ignored the spider that's on her. Like, it's not even worth her notice.
You pretty much did.
So Taffy's gonna reach into her pack. She's got like a pouch on her side. And fling out with her hand some of the ball bearings. And use telekinetic projectile.
Alright, go ahead and roll your attack. Is this your last button?
Give that back.
Ah. So there is a conflict on who pays.
19.
Just like friends. Sitting at the dinner table, squabbling over who pays the bill in the end.
Like friends at birthday parties when they ignore you and get you drunk.
That is a very pleasant memory from your GM. I have already eaten and consumed that one. It was reminiscent of friendship. How much did you hit for?
Well, I hit with a 19, right?
19 hits.
So, let me get my D6s.
It was a savory memory.
14.
14 points. And were you targeting the one on Kazalin or Steno?
Which one looks more screwed up?
They both look fairly hale and hearty, but the one on Steno looks a lot more pissed off. As far as a spider can be pissed off.
Which of the two look like they're more damaged?
I don't believe... I think Kazalin's taken more damage than...
I don't think the one on Stano has taken any damage at all.
So you dealt 14 points?
Yeah.
So your bearing goes in and just puts out one of its eyes.
Well, it was 3 of them.
Oh, your bearings go out. And it looks like you've taken about half of its vision.
Good.
It's like, yes, this is what I desire. It is still up, though.
Not good.
You have one action remaining.
I'll cast Shield on myself since I can't cast it on anybody else yet.
Kazalin.
I attempt to escape.
Do so. Roll thine acrobatics.
Which should be good since you're a ranger.
It is. It's plus 10. 20.
You slip out using your halberd to cut yourself free, and you have 2 actions remaining.
Am I standing or am I prone?
You're standing.
Okay.
You're immobilized in place.
Okay. Is the one spider still alive that was within my melee range?
Yes, it is. You saw 3 ball bearings go into its eyes and towards its head. It reared back again, looking like it was either considering flight or fang. You're not sure which, but it is still upon you.
Okay. Then I will hit it again with the halberd. Wait, it's still 10 feet from me, right? Or
This is the
now?
one that is on you, so you can still strike with your melee.
Okay. Quick draw my striking rapier. Put it in the hand with the doubling ring. Which
Okay.
makes my halberd a striking halberd.
Mhm.
So.
Your halberd requires 2 hands to use.
Does it?
Yes.
It is a 2-handed weapon.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, never mind. I'll do this. Just regular old plus 8. 19.
Now, did you want to strike it with your halberd, or did you want to strike it with your rapier?
Oh, I'm not gonna draw the rapier. Just.
You can still hold the halberd in your left hand and strike it with your rapier.
Oh. Okay. Then do that then.
Just be like,
So 19. Oh, wait.
19 would hit.
22.
22 definitely hits.
9.
So with 9 points of damage, you whip out your striking rapier and then just do the reverse side of Steno's skewer, going down through one of the other eyes into the thorax, do a jiggle to get your rapier free, and then pull it back out through the top of the thorax.
A la pulling the brains out ancient Egyptian style?
I was thinking
With less of a
ripping
hook,
it.
but kind of ripping up and out at the same time. You're kind of whipping your blade clean through the process. You do have one more action available to you, because you quick drew out your rapier to strike
yeah.
with it.
I'll go ahead and strike it again.
It is the one on you is dead,
Oh.
but Steno is very close to you now, with the spider that jumped on her and is within range of your halberd.
Okay, first off, I want to establish that Caslin and Stana were not close at all.
Within physical proximity.
That's fair.
26.
26 hits. Here's the fun part. You technically didn't know to add this in. It's actually going to technically crit because with your ranged with the halberd, it makes you flanking with Steno.
Oh.
So roll that crit damage.
19.
And then with your halberd, you're able to cut thorax to head, the one that was attempting to harry Steno, and you're able to kill it in one strike.
Nice.
So in this turn, to give you an idea of the badassery that Caslin just did, he whips out his rapier with a quick draw action, skewers the spider that's on him, flips it up, stows it, turns, spins with his halberd, and slices down the back of another arachnid, all within 6 seconds. Whoosh, killing the last one that was harrying you.
And Alec is still immobile.
That's some ranger shit right there.
Yeah, and you see kind of Alec trying to finally squirm out. And then just now hit a 10. To finally get himself out. It's just because he hadn't actually drawn a sword yet.
I like to think that all four of us are just kind of sitting there like, well, finally.
How many are left?
Y'all have finished slaying the last one there.
Taffy's
Yeah.
gonna go over to the humanoid shaped pouches.
If she pokes this and it bursts into spiders, I don't know what I'll do.
She's gonna poke it.
As you begin checking out the humanoid lumps in the webbings along the northern wall. So, for the wall itself, you begin seeing, checking out along this area here, that the cavern itself opens up into a section that is covered in rubble, and there is another northwesternly passage. And as you focus on the bundles themselves, you find that these are sacks of mostly rotten decay. But as you slide it open, it reveals a recently deceased, you believe, human adventurer, and the body itself is desiccated beyond recognition. But you see that it's still mostly intact.
I loot the body.
As you remove the adventurer from the webbing itself, you find what you recognize to be a rune-enhanced scimitar. Not much else of the body is usable. The armor has been punctured beyond repair, and the materials in there look like they may have been melted with some sort of viscous material.
Do we know what the rune does?
But you can tell that, especially with what you've been discovered with the rapier recently, this appears to be a +1 striking scimitar.
Who can use a scimitar?
So the individuals who should be trained in it, I believe Alec, Steno, and Caslin are trained in martial weapons.
I think Alec needs something.
Alec is running around with a +1 greatsword. +1 striking greatsword.
And I have a +1 striking greatsword. So wait, why don't we give you the
So do
scimitar
I.
and give Deimos the +1 striking rapier?
I have a +1 striking rapier.
Never mind.
What is the
What's the damage
what
on a
are
scimitar?
the stats? of
No,
that?
I've got a +1 rapier. I don't know if that's different from +1 striking.
It is.
Yes. The striking gives you an additional weapon die.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I would like that.
So you give Deimos the rapier and then you take the scimitar. Sound like a plan, Chris?
Oh, well, of course it's a great plan. It should be able to keep you alive a little bit longer. Let's go ahead and grab you some weapon stats on that scimitar.
Why does he talk like this?
Because he plans to kill us all.
So the
He hasn't
scimitar
TPK'd us once.
is 1d6 slashing, and it has the forceful and sweep abilities.
Let's
So the forceful...
Wait, hang on. Oh yeah, okay.
So this one works out pretty well for forceful. It becomes more dangerous as you build momentum, so when you attack with it more than once on your turn, the second attack gains a circumstance bonus to damage equal to the number of weapon damage dice on each subsequent attack.
Nice.
Forceful's a pretty badass trait.
So as a forceful striking weapon, that means your second strike is going to add an additional 2 points of damage when you hit with it.
Wait, is it a?
My rapier might be useful soon.
Is it? It's not finesse.
Correct. It is a forceful and sweep.
Sweep is convenient.
So sweep allows you to make wide spinning attacks. And so when you attack with the weapon, you gain a +1 bonus to your attack roll if you already attempted to attack a different target on this turn.
I thought you could trip with a scimitar.
No, then it would have the trip ability. You need the ability to sweep with weapons. If you have a free hand, you could technically use it that way anyway, but you'd have to have the free hand. You couldn't trip with a scimitar if you had a shield or any other implement, though.
That does make sense.
Wait, so Demos could use the scimitar as well, right?
No, Deimos is not trained in...
Really?
Yeah, Demos has a limited training in martial weapons.
I think Deimos is literally trained to a rapier.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh, okay.
He also has a dagger if he gets really desperate.
So even though the rapier is a martial weapon, you're just trained to the rapier.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
It's a bard thing.
Okay.
So, and Taffy, go ahead and give me a perception check while you are in that area around the rubble.
It's because bards have weak little wrists, so they can only handle the one little light
Well,
sword.
that's a natural 20 on top of my perception,
Weak
which
wrists.
is 7, if I
Soft
recall
palms.
correctly.
Thank
So
you.
27.
Delicate.
Like a flower.
Like a butterfly.
So as you are checking around in
Like
that
the gentle beats
area,
of a butterfly's wings.
Like a
and
soft
you
little
are
hummingbird.
floating your...
Like a baby cooing.
I think they're ignoring you.
That's fine.
100%.
Yeah, 27.
So as you're checking out the area and you're looking around as they're determining who's going to be wielding the scimitar, you see this metallic glint off of one of the rocks. And so you float your orb over there and you see that it seems to be something about the size of your palm, and it is golden in color.
Taffy stands up and
Do any of us notice Taffy moving?
Well, y'all see that she's kind of checking around the rocks and area.
Taffy?
What? I'm looking at stuff.
Hmm.
There's no crime against that. In spider hordes. I wonder, since when do spiders hoard?
Spider dragons.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Dude, that sounds so badass. How
Dragon
cool would
with
that
8
fucking
legs.
be?
Should Deimos maybe, before we get into Taffy touching magic items, she probably shouldn't yet. Should Deimos maybe attempt to battle medic Alec?
Yeah, probably.
Not battle medic, just medic Alec.
As you're looking over
Medicine
his wounds, there's this deep 1-inch wide puncture, actually
Oh,
2
man.
into the bicep there.
Okay, let's medical the hell out of him. Send this down.
To think, maybe I should have left Alec much more vulnerable than I had. Y'all have spent 3 buttons on him so far today. It's beautiful.
16.
Such a sign of
I think
friendship.
it just barely makes it.
That means you will be able to do your 2d8 of healing.
So what does he need to fix that bicep wound?
healing.
Correct. So the treat wounds and a little bit of
that
rest
takes-
is enough to
okay.
heal.
12? Yeah, 12.
How's he doing?
He took 27 points and he's now healed, so he is down 15. And so he is at
progress.
3/4 health.
Hang on.
So, Taffy, are you going to go check out the golden thing you saw?
Oh, yeah, of course.